YouTube, what's good with it, man? What's good with it? It's your boy up early in the morning, man. And they had their pagan holiday last week, right? And here's one of the stories that happened last week. Y'all may or may not have heard about this, courtesy of the Independent. Chicago man intentionally set his family's home on fire after Thanksgiving argument with relatives got out of hand, police say. Thank you, Rachel, for bringing us this story. A Chicago man intentionally set his family's home on fire during Thanksgiving after an argument with relatives got out of hand, according to police. Boy, was they fighting over the turkey? Erik J. Cump, I guess he got it crunk up in there, huh? 21, was antagonizing and arguing with his family when authorities arrived at the Beach Park home Thursday night, the Lake County Sheriff's Office said. The cops said they managed to de-escalate the argument, and Crump agreed to keep himself for the rest of the night. But the crisis had not been averted. Later that night, police received reports that the home had caught fire. Police later found out that Crump was told by his family that he was getting kicked out of the home after their earlier argument. Oh, so he was mad because he was getting the boot, huh? Crump then left the house, but returned shortly afterwards and headed into his bedroom, where authorities believe he set the fire. He then left the house again. Man, look at you, Erik. Erik wanted to grow up and be a firebug. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, man. You know what? Y'all hold that thought right quick. Ta-da! Hey, this right here clip is for fair use and educational purposes only. For those of you who don't know who Smokey the Bear is, roll that clip.
Well, today is a special anniversary. It's Smokey Bear's 80th birthday. You probably recognize him from ads and signs over the years, but how did Smokey get his start, and just how successful has Smokey become? In honor of his birthday, I did some research and talked with Smokey's Ranger pals to get an in-depth look at Smokey through the ages.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know, but only you can prevent wildfires.
For 80 years, he's been...
All right. So that's what Smokey was, man. If he'd been paying attention to Smokey, he'd have never lit the house on fire, right? Woo! Moments later, the family saw smoke filling the home and immediately evacuated, the sheriff's office said. Dang. Excuse me. That is crazy. Firefighters saw a man who looked like Crump holding a knife as he stood on the side of the road about a block from his home, which has sustained major damage, police said. Crump tried to flee and a manhunt ensued. Police dogs tracked Crump's scent to a dead end, indicating he left the area in the vehicle, the sheriff's office said. Authorities eventually found Crump at a storage facility in town, and he was arrested and charged with aggravated arson and residential arson. Y'all know why they found him at a storage facility? Because he didn't have nowhere to go. He didn't have an escape plan. And you know what? You shouldn't have an escape plan after setting somebody's house on fire. You know why? Because you shouldn't be setting nobody's house on fire. That's why. It's nothing short of a blessing that nobody was injured or killed in this senseless act. While families across Lake County were sitting down for Thanksgiving, our dispatchers was answering the call and our deputies were out responding to them, Sheriff John D. Eidelberg said. That's 100% true. He continued, our team, along with our fire service partners, responded within minutes, secured the area, helped ensure the fire was extinguished, and took this individual into custody before anyone else was put at risk. I am incredibly proud of their professionalism and their commitment to keeping our community safe every hour of every day. It was not immediately clear whether Crump has a lawyer. And what that sheriff said is real true, man. We thank those people, the sheriff department, the firefighters, man, for putting that fire out, and the authorities for catching that dude before he could hurt anybody else. He could have killed his whole family. All because he was getting kicked out the house. But you know what, punk? You should have left the house a long time ago. You 21. You know what I'm saying? I cut out the crib when I was 18. You know, that's when I smashed out. Yeah, and I was really, you know, in and out at 17. You know what I'm saying? I ain't bragging about it or saying that it was right. But, you know, my mom always used to say, you know, if you can't follow my rules, you know, you need to get your own place. And then you can do what you want to do. And I followed my mom's rules and stuff. It was just, you know, you was kids, you know, sometimes you wanted to hang out late, you know. Sometimes you wanted to go to that party and stuff like that. So, you know, it was just little stuff like that. But, you know, he should have been gone 3 years ago. You know, and then guess what? If you would have just had a small disagreement with your family, you could have went back to your crib. You could have went back to your spot and chilled out. They couldn't threaten to kick you out because you don't live there. See, that's one of the main benefits about becoming a man or a woman. You see, you become independent, and then you can do what you want to do at your house. You see? And we can always agree to disagree, but setting your house on fire or setting anything on fire is never the answer, man. You know what I'm saying? And now, this guy right here on the screen, he's gonna have to go to prison, and guess what? And do that time. He's gonna have a long time to think about it, but that's crazy, man. I'm glad they got this menace to society out, you know what I'm saying? You know, out of society. But man, what do y'all think about that YouTube? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to have a blessed day, man. Don't forget to check out all the other videos on there, man. Check out that playlist too. There's some good truth music on there. Peace.